KNUST-TEK TV. Experience educational television.
Hello and welcome to Tech News Update. Boosting green employment and enterprise. Opportunities in Ghana is a 4-year joint project from the European Union, the Embassy of the Kingdom of the Netherlands in Ghana, the United Nations Capital Development Fund, and SNV. A senior lecturer in the Mechanical Engineering Department of KNUST has used solar systems to set up a 2-acre farm to support the transition of green and climate-resilient development, which is in line with green employment and enterprise. Speaking to Tech TV News, Dr. Opoku said,
I've done some studies and I've realized that in Ghana, if you take the 12 months period over the year, you have roughly about even less than 6 months where we can depend on natural rainfall. To be frank, if you look at it, it's actually June, July that we have rainfall, then also September, October, November. So actually 5 months that we have rainfall in Ghana. So if you're a farmer, it means that you can actually farm effectively for 5 months within the year. But God has given us the brains that we can use this solar system to always pump water and have like farming throughout the year. So you don't have to always depend on natural like a rainfall. You can also do your mechanized solar power irrigation system. So that's what I've been doing in my farm. So for me, whether it's raining or it's not raining, I don't have any problem, because I always have the solar pumping my water, doing my irrigation, and I'm always harvesting crops in my farm.
He further indicated that the organic way of farming is preferable because it can produce good and healthy food for consumers.
So I am going with the organic because I don't want to be using chemicals in my farm. So the reason why I'm going organic is that I want to avoid using chemicals which will go into the food and people eating it and having issues with their health and all those things. That's why I'm going organic. So the organic, what I do is that I go for poultry manure from poultry farms, and that's what I use to fertilize my soil. So instead of using the chemical-based, artificial, whatever fertilizers, I don't do that. I use natural-based, which is the organic manure from poultry farms. And it's all to give good food that when people eat, they'll be very healthy.
Dr. Opoku is therefore calling on the government to invest in solar-powered irrigation system of farming.
This kind of irrigation system doesn't cost that much. You can have these satellite kind of irrigation systems all over, where these small-scale farmers, they can maybe benefit from it. Because recently I just heard that in the north somewhere, they have gone to dig some water reserve or whatever.
Yes.
And then when we entered into the dry season, the whole dam has dried. There's no water in it. Now the farmers there are complaining. They can't even get water after all this damn thing. But I believe that when we are doing groundwater, because my own is groundwater, so we have a borehole where we have a pump inside the borehole, and then it's just pumping water to serve the farm. This my farm is about 2.5 acres. So 2.5 acres is a normal farm for many Ghanaians, which they can use it for production. So I will encourage the government to pump money rather into satellite systems like this, because that's the way forward. That's the way forward. And I'm hoping that, sooner or later, government will see sense in some of these small-scale satellite irrigation systems for the agricultural productivity in Ghana.
In business, the head of economics department in KNUST, Dr. Grace Nkansa Asante, has urged Ghanaians to learn the consumption of food and other products made in Ghana and patronize in the services made in the country, since the borders have been closed as a result of COVID-19. According to her, this will grow our industries and expand the Ghanaian economy.
As the saying goes, every misfortune is a blessing. We've learned a lot from the COVID crisis, the pandemic. I think it's about time we learned eating what we grow here. We have rice, we have almost everything here, but I don't know what is wrong with us. Most times we prefer the imported ones, but now that they are not coming in, I think we have to learn to eat what we have. There is one thing that we do that at times, I don't know, we compare the quality of goods here to those abroad. We tend to forget that some of these products come from firms that have been existing for so many years. Some of the firms are even more than 50 years. So they have the capacity, they have the experience to produce at lower cost. The per unit cost is far lower than how a Ghanaian industry will produce. So maybe if let's take the textiles. If you take GTP and then you take the Dutch Holland cloth, they've been existing 18 something. If you look 1890 something, so many years ago. So they have experience, they have the capacity, and they can produce. They are even listed on the stock exchange in their country. So if you compete, if GTP is competing with them, so it's not a fair competition. But unless we buy their products for them to also grow, and we'll be where we are, we will still depend on imports. So our advice that somewhere along the line, we have to change our attitude and buy made in Ghana goods so that industries can also grow. The Association of Ghanaian Industries, they also need to grow, but if you don't buy their goods, they can't continue producing. We are crying for jobs for our children. Who should, when we buy imports, it means we are creating jobs for other nationals. So I think it's about time we took advantage of this COVID, now that imports are not coming in, to also buy made in Ghana goods so that our industries will also grow, and then we will be able to expand, and the economy will also be self-reliant a little bit.